What is up, basketball fans, and welcome back to Zero Gravity, Apollo Media's NBA podcast, where today we're going to break down Rockets Warriors Game 2. Not a thriller necessarily, but a lot of things happened in that game. I know you were in the trenches while I was in the trenches for my Stars last night, and we all were up past midnight, the Zero Gravity crew. Sheldon's not joining us tonight. He's had a prior engagement, but we were all up till midnight, incredibly, somehow, at the same time. It's never happened before. May never happen again. Who's to say if it'll ever happen again? We're going to get into Knicks Pistons, which has been probably the best Eastern Conference matchup that we've had. We previewed that before the playoffs even started, and we said this is going to be a fun series. Not sure how long it'll go necessarily, but fun series in the Garden. Lakers Wolves, obviously entertaining. You get Ant versus Luka and Rudy Gobert. I'm going to have a good time there. And then Clippers Nuggets, magic. Just absolute magic in the first two games. So today's episode of Zero Gravity is brought to you by J Bar M. J Bar M Barbecue is just a couple blocks away from Toyota Center. We're going to be there this week, maybe a couple of times for Rockets games. We're going to have a blast there with the Rockets crew, just a couple blocks away from Toyota Center. It's like a 10-minute walk. It's not bad. Free parking, great drinks, and best barbecue in town. Shout out to J Bar M Barbecue. Shout out to Zing Zang, America's #1 Bloody Mary mix. We love Zing Zang over here, so Zang responsibly. And shout out to Big City Wings, Houston Swing Joint, Apollo's Wing Joint. I'm your host, Stone Strangman, joined always by Josh Garcia. How we doing?
Fantastic, brother. We get to experience so much joy, so much life, so much winning. Too much winning, some are saying. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves here, but damn it feels good. The Houston Rockets are 1 out of 16. Let's keep it going, brother. You're happy, I'm happy. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, last night was a doozy for both of us, to say the least. Yours for much different reasons. You were fairly comfortable in the game. You had a Jalen Green game, obviously the most inconsistent player in the NBA, where he's going to score 30 plus, and then the next game he's going to score 15 on 17 shots. So
nope.
But all you need is 4 Jalen Green games. If you can get 4 Jalen Green games, you're cooking, absolutely cooking. But Rockets Warriors game 2. I did not watch. I was dialed into the Stars. We started around the same time. I couldn't watch any of it. But during commercial breaks, intermission, I'm all over social media. I'm watching the box score. I'm making sure that my boys are okay. All right. Got the Rockets hat up here now. Brand new 1-0 with the Rockets hat in the building. Not a big deal. Maybe we may be the good luck charm. I don't know. Who's to say? Who's to not say? But obviously I was watching online and I saw all of Draymond Green. Just all of it.
I don't even know where to begin, brother. This is the most unethical first 2 games I've probably ever seen. Of course, game 2 being the more heavier of the 2 so far. Draymond Green initially just starting off the game, just pissing everybody off, throwing elbows, throwing hands at Dylan Brooks, and everything just immediately falling off the cliff from there. That was probably the longest, what should be 2.5 hour regulation basketball game I've ever seen. We were in there for about 3 hours. I didn't leave the house, my homie's house, until 11:30. The tip-off started at 8:40. If we're getting 5 more games of this, I don't know how much more I have in the tank. I don't even know where to begin. Tari Eason, shout out Tari Eason, man. Apparently one of them white boys over there in Golden State said something very rude to Tari Eason. He throws a towel at him. He doesn't throw the towel in. He throws the towel at. It is the sickest thing ever. And of course, that's in the middle of the game. Everything, prior history has already started. There is hands, foul trouble, anger, confusion, and sadness. I don't know what other adjectives to use to describe this amazing game that was we were somehow up 20 points for most of the game, but it felt like we were only up 5. I mean, that was the most intense, I don't want to call it a blowout. It was only 15 points, but intense non-close game that I've seen in a very long time. And taking it over to Chase Center, let's split. So it's not a 3-1 game 5 at Toyota Center.
Yeah, obviously social media watcher here, not game watcher on this one, but Draymond, it was right from the jump. It seemed like it was very early on, because I remember looking in the commercial breaks. I was like, what is happening? There's a lot of messages going on in our group chats, a lot of Twitter messages. Everything on Twitter is going crazy. It's just like he's shoving hands in face. They throwing shoves and elbows everywhere to God knows everyone on the Rockets. I mean, it's Dylan Brooks, it's Tari Eason, it's Amen Thompson, it's everybody. He's getting after everyone. And I will say, 3 years ago, I had my first real Draymond Green experience, because I knew he was a pest. I knew he was an asshole. He's done all these things over the years, but he never did it to my team. And 3 years ago, started doing it to my team. And I was like, all right, Rockets fans. I understand. I get it now. This is ridiculous what he gets
Years of
away with.
pain.
What he gets away with, what he's able to do without getting tossed from a game or even get a foul sometimes is just ludicrous because they happen to win 73 games one year and they won the title in 2015. Like, and we're just letting him get away with whatever he wants across the hall from the best shooter of all time. Like, he's on the same team as that guy, but he gets away with stuff, whatever. But Draymond just he's a loose cannon. We've known this for years, obviously, but I had my first playoff experience with that 3 years ago. So fully understand what's going on with that. And then obviously you get the old trip with a little bit of a shove from Draymond Green onto Amen Thompson. Amen Thompson takes Jimmy Butler's legs out from underneath him. Jimmy obviously hurts his back. I think he only played 8 minutes, if I had that right. So not ideal if you're a Warriors fan, but we don't care. I mean, we don't want people to get hurt necessarily, but
Hold on.
we don't want people to get hurt. Obviously, it wasn't incidental contact. It was not on Amen Thompson. It's on Draymond Green. Like, it's by proxy Draymond's fault, and you don't want to see that happen, obviously. But as Rockets fans, you've had a famous injury during a very pivotal Rockets Warriors series,
Stop.
I'm just saying, maybe it's karma for Draymond Green's antics over the years. The nut kicking, the nut punching, the headlocks, the punches thrown to Jordan Poole. I don't know. It could be karma finally coming back his way.
God willing, brother. I think that over the years, of course, we've seen so much pain, anguish, and just Draymond Green is just letting everything out. And of course, the Jimmy Butler situation, sure. That was very intense. I've never in my life seen someone fall like how someone like does a reverse backflip off of a swing. You know what I mean? When they're really high and they just bust ass, but backwards.
Not fun.
That schoolhouse injuries in the NBA are always crazy. Like the non-contacts, the weird, like quirky, wacky ones. And for that to happen in a playoff series, obviously you don't want to see that. I just want to have a very competitive series. Obviously the Rockets can sit there and I'd love for them to win this thing. But it would be nice to have teams at full strength, but I'm not going to complain about the, scenario and the results that have been given to us. I don't even. There's so many thoughts, so many emotions that I was feeling last night. As were you. Congrats on your overtime winner last night, brother. Texas hockey, we are back. Texas basketball, we are the Bloods and the Crips right now, uniting in arms. And Amen Thompson just immediately, like I said, getting into foul trouble. Dylan Brooks getting into foul trouble. You had two of your starters getting three fouls within the first 13, 14 minutes of the game.
Yeah,
and
it was quick.
For us to immediately bounce back, and Tari Eason hitting, important threes. Jabari Smith, I believe, hit at least two pretty important threes. Everybody stepped up. I get that Jalen Green had his night. He had his moment, and he fucking deserves it. Oh, my God. He even took complete ownership and liability in the post-game presser while looking like 2004 Allen Iverson. It was so sick. Crazy fit. The sideways cap, he's looking like T.I. out there. Thought that was awesome. It's him next to Tari Eason, brother. That good visual. If we win this series, it's gonna be a lot of people's Twitter headers. I'm just saying. I'm just so happy. I'm happy we got one. I'm happy that obviously I know that we're not the underdogs in this situation, and of course, to the media we are the underdogs.
Yeah.
And
just being before the series started, you were the underdogs.
Yeah, just being wise. Yeah, it's so emotionally taxing the past 10 years of my life. Obviously, like I said, we had a 5-year break there. It is vindicating, even just catching one. Obviously, odds are we are going to win this series. I mean, those odds might be 51-49, but odds are we might have it. And with how everything's turning out, of course, with Jimmy and everything that's going on with the Warriors, I think it was 11 or 12 guys who in each team's rotation that were already out there with like halfway through the second quarter. And I was like, this is just going to be a wacky ass game. You got 3 white dudes coming in for Golden State, and you had Reed Shepherd and Cam Whitmore minutes last night, buddy. This is shocking. Everything we asked of, everything we wanted, and then some. And we're I don't know, exhausting our last things to give. And it's only game 2 going into game 3. It's like, how much crazier can this shit get, man? This is basketball. Every game, it's first to 100. It feels like in these playoffs, and we'll get to the other ones in a minute. But I'm ecstatic, brother, and I'm in my Apollo HOU, H-Town versus everyone T. Man, I wore that thing to work today. Oh, everybody was saying brick by brick, brick by brick. It was funny. But
Yeah.
we get to live and breathe another day. I don't even know. I don't even know anymore. We got one. We got one, brother.
You got one. It seems like the key to success for the Rockets is having Alperen Şengün or Jalen Green kind of dominate offensively, and the other one be like above average, like a good game. You just need about 20 points on good shooting. Average defense will do with you guys, those two guys, because the rest of the team can carry that defensive load. And if you can get a really stellar game out of one of those two and an average game or an above average game from one of the others, odds are you're going to win the game because you're going to score enough points. And obviously, you had Tari Eason and Jabari Smith Jr. contribute a good bit on offense last night as well. So seems to be the key to success because you're going to play good defense. You're going to get in their heads. You're going to be physical and not let things just slide because that's who the Rockets are. That's who Ime Udoka is as a coach, and he instills that in the team. So if you can have those two things happen, like you're going to have a very, very good shot at winning a game. So can you do that another 3 times? TBD. We'll have to wait and see.
Who's to say? Hey, 50-50 chance. 3 good Jalen Green games, 3 bad Jalen Green games. I'm leaning towards good right now. The accountability, the just masterclass that we witnessed last night. That's not a fluke. That he has it. He always has had it, and one day that'll be the norm. We saw it at most points this season, and just keep capitalizing off it. That's all you can do. But shout out real quick. Shout out Alperen Şengün. Incredible game by the guy. 15 and 15, I believe it was, maybe a little more. You need guys like that. Damn it, you need guys like that. Spin cycle guys. Just damn it. I love this shit. I die for this shit.
He had a great game 1 too. The problem is that you had a terrible Jalen Green and Fred VanVleet game.
Everyone else stunk. Shout out Şengün for playing his ass off game 1. We are a Şengüner podcast. We're Şengüning right now.
Yeah. So Rockets Warriors is obviously we knew it was going to be a lot of fun. I didn't know it was going to be this fun immediately. It's like right off the rip. So game 3 should be a blast. J-Bar M this week. Check out our social media. So Summit State of Mind, our Rockets podcast there. They've been carrying the Rockets flag for us, and obviously you as well. And you make your appearances on Summit. So pay attention to them. If you're a Rockets fan, pay attention to us. If you want a little bit of Rockets talk, get all the Rockets talk with them at Summit State of Mind out of Apollo HOU. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. But that's not the only series we're going to talk about. Knicks Pistons, very similar series in a different way. Yes. It's not a rematch in any way, shape, or form. The Knicks are the better team, like for all intents and purposes. But the Pistons are a fun team. They're a fun team. They're really fun. And we said this was probably going to be the best Eastern Conference matchup just because of the way that the Pistons play. And the Knicks still haven't completely figured everything out. And they've had a full 82-game season to figure it out. And it's tough. And hand up, I was watching this game. I was in the press box pregame for the Stars. It was ending pretty close to when the game was about to start. So I did turn off the end. But I was looking at the scoreboard. I thought the Knicks were up 10 or 6 the entire time. I had them flipped in my brain. I fucked that one up because then I looked down. I've turned the game off at this point because my game is now on the ice. And I looked down at a notification from the Score app, and it says, or the Real app, one of the apps that I have, many sports apps.
Many such apps, folks.
People are saying. I think it's a Real app actually, but it says Pistons leading Knicks by 6 points. I was like, wait a second. Did I have that wrong the entire time? It's like I had no clue what was happening in that. But the Pistons won 100-94, very similar to Rockets Warriors, where it's just like first team to 100 wins. So shout out to the Pistons, man. I mean, Cade Cunningham, he's obviously he's awesome. Thompson twins, was very fun. He didn't score a lot of points. He had 5 points, but he was very fun and kind of all over the court. In that one, Tobias Harris was making big shots. He had 15 points. I mean, and then he got 20 from Dennis Schroeder, of all people, Warrior legend.
Dennis Schroeder, who hit the dagger, which isn't that the sickest thing ever? You getting that sentence in an NBA playoff series in 2025. Shout out Cade Cunningham. 90% of his points were unreal, unassisted. He was ISO balling the shit out of the New York Knicks. And the best quote tweet I've seen in a very long time was, of course, I believe it was the Brett Usher kind of a little mixtape type thing he does on Twitter, the 1.5-minute compilation. And it's all the Cade Cunningham highlights, and whatever the quote tweet says, just looked at my bitch and sighed. Because damn it, if I don't have a guy like Cade Cunningham on my team, I'd be mad too. This Eastern Conference series is beautiful, and it's too bad that we're not getting much else. Bucks Pacers PU. I don't even boo.
No,
Nope. Welcome back, Damian Lillard. Congratulations.
We'll get to offseason talk about you Bucks pretty soon.
Right. It won't be a sweep though. It won't be a sweep. Giannis is gonna have that.
It might
He's gonna
be.
have that 50. He's gonna have 50 one night. I'm telling you, it's gonna happen.
It might not be enough. The rest of that.
Imagine your best player scores 50 points and you lose by 10 or more. Like, I imagine how debilitating that would be.
It's brutal. But yeah, Cade Cunningham at 33 and 12 rebounds, only 3 assists. Just like, hey, give me the ball. I'm going to score. No one else is. 12 rebounds for a point guard, too. Huge. 42 minutes played. But Jalen Brunson had a great game, 37 points. But the rest of the roster was kind of subpar. I think Mikal Bridges was decent. It wasn't great, but 19 points. But he was 3-11 from shooting on threes. Everybody else was 10, 10, 10. And then he got 8 points off the bench. That was it. That was the difference in the game, is that the Pistons had, like, I think 30 plus bench points. Obviously, Dennis Schroeder had his 20. Yeah, you had 35 points from your bench, and the Knicks only had 8. They played 4 players on their bench, and only one guy scored points.
No, was it?
You can't have it. Had to be. It's a Tom Thibodeau team.
McBride, correct?
I believe that's what
he was missing some clutch shots. I believe it was just 2.
Yeah, he went 3 of 7, but 2 of 4 from 3, 8 points, and then the rest of the roster said, "Yeah, no thanks."
I'm good on playing today, buddy. Shout out to the Thompson twins, because once they get a different type of bag, I mean, once their bag goes from a tote bag to a duffel bag, we're talking, buddy. We are talking leaps and bounds. Of course, Amen Thompson, we've seen it a little bit quicker, but of course, Asar was dealing with, was that a blood clot as well? He had like something in his shoulder, or
he did. Yeah,
he was dealing with that too. So it delayed greatness on the other Thompson twins. Shout out you though. We're getting young guys in the playoffs, like, for the first time. This is what we live for. This is what we do it for. And we're getting, established veterans who are playing meaningful minutes and scoring more than meaningful points, like game-altering points. This is what we do it for. Shout out you, Dennis Schroeder. At one point, rebuilding ship captain of the boat. Yeah,
he was. Forget. Noted hater of NBA owners in the business of the NBA.
There it is. There you go. Shout out Germany. And then there's he's doing an interview when he's in Atlanta. Maybe this is before he got a hair transplant. I don't know. He's looking down, and for the YouTube viewers, his hairline is about right here. And it's incredible stuff. Shout out you, Dennis Schroeder. Not to dog on you, but I saw that clip the other day. I was like, damn it, that's stupid.
Right. You got enough money, you can go get a hair transplant.
Exactly. So hey, I'll take $10 million in bald tomorrow. That's all I'm saying.
That's fair. 100% strong agree. Lakers Wolves. Obviously, we said that picture was going to come back to bite the Wolves at some point, of Ant celebrating at Luka with this ring finger.
Puppet Master. Puppet Master. You do you do that, and you control the puppets. Okay. They did a graphic of it, and I was like, that makes sense.
Strange thing to pull after getting nearly swept last year in the Western Conference Finals by this man. Luka Doncic, welcome back to the Lakers.
Congratulations.
He had 16 points and several assists and rebounds in the first quarter, outscored the Timberwolves starting 5 by a point in the first quarter. And I was like, you definitely trade that guy for Anthony Davis, right? That's all I could think about, is because all the memories that I've had over the years with Luka Doncic in the playoffs, this happens every series where he is outscoring a team or the starting 5 in the first half or the first quarter or the game entirely. Like, he just does this all the time. It's just like, you didn't even have a great LeBron game, 8 for 19 shooting with 21, 11, and 7. Like, it's a good LeBron game, but not a great LeBron game. You didn't score 100 points, 94 for the Lakers. They get game 2, but you had a great Julius Randle game, good Anthony Davis game there it is, Freudian slip, Anthony Edwards game. Relatively, he had 25 points on 22 shots. So it's not ideal per se, but a great Luka Doncic game. He only scored 31 at the end of the day. He had 16 in the first quarter, but like, you do that in the first quarter and you're like, okay, well,
smooth game sailing 3 from there on out. No team scored 100 points this game. I don't believe that only one team scored 100 in the first game. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I
This
think
is
that was the case as well.
disgusting. This is going to be a disgusting series, and I'm so glad that we get to bear witness to a obviously, Luka Doncic as a Maverick would be a lot more cool. I'm sorry to bring this up again.
Yeah, it'd be a
I
lot more
know,
fun for
I
me.
know.
No, we're gonna have to do this for the rest of time. Like the rest of this podcast for the rest of history is going to be. Oh, hey, remember when you had Luka Doncic for 7 years?
Luka
That
was,
was cool.
and
Huh?
now Luka's a Laker. That wow. Remember last episode we
Yeah.
were almost brought to tears
Did
about
you
this.
see the Luka Jordan brand
No,
commercial
no. Is there a new one?
by chance? Oh, it was
Hmm.
tremendous. It's another bad Luka um, Jordan brand, and they're in a courtroom, and Luka's on the stand, and there's a guy testing him in the courtroom, and he goes, "You enjoy getting after fans and the opposing team, don't you?" And he goes, "Yeah, I do." And then it just cuts to him just screaming at Rudy Gobert or any fan in the playoffs. Like it's all Lakers now, Lakers
Oh,
clips, and that's kind of tough.
that's
But
like off like 15
so
games of knowledge too, or available
yeah,
footage.
and it was a little bit of filmed in a different place, I would believe as well. But great commercial. It's just he's just talking shit on the stand, and he just says, "Bad Luca." The lawyer does, and Luca puts his new Jordans up on the stand, like he just kicks his feet up. And I was
That's
like,
great.
"Yeah,
Dude,
great
Jordan
branding."
Brand, what a year for them. Obviously, everyone knows what Jordans are.
They've been
Everyone
unreal.
knows the significance behind them, but I, that love TKO, that Teddy Pendergrass, Jalen Hurts commercial right after the Super Bowl, that was one of the best ads
Hurts, doesn't it?
one of the
Yeah,
best ads I've seen in a long time. Shout out to that marketing team.
yeah, they've been killing it. But Luca, obviously, he's gonna get his in the series at some point, and it happened in Game 2, and I would expect it to continue on. I mean, it's going to be tough sledding for the Wolves because Luka Doncic is on the floor, and if LeBron just like happens to be top 10 player in the world, LeBron, like we saw this year, it's going to be really hard for the Wolves to do much of anything. If we get consistency out of those two guys, and if Austin Reeves has a game, then it's going to be really tough. But the Wolves are very capable of winning the series, especially if Julius Randle's going to have 27 points. Like you just needed a third guy to have 15 plus, and you had a real shot. Problem is this Luka's like, hey, I'll give you 16 in the first quarter and just take your soul before anything
Hopes
else
and
happens.
dreams
So
out of crypto.
yeah, I mean, yeah, it's
Before
the
the
superstars
halftime
around.
buzzer even sounded.
Did you see Kevin Gates's man spread courtside?
Yes.
Unreal. Everyone is so crowded in their seats, and his legs are this far apart, all the way out.
He didn't
And
even have a
Jack Black
shirt on.
is just sitting there like this. Yeah, he didn't have a shirt underneath the jacket, which unreal move. Obviously, he got into it with LeBron over the last week, so that was an interesting move to go courtside, the power move, if you will. But Jack Black is sitting 3 seats next to Kevin Gates, and he is shrunk into a seat. Like there is no room at all. And Kevin Gates said, "Yep, man spread all the way
This guy's
out.
boss hogging courtside in at crypto.
No
shirt, real deal boss hogging. I love this shit. Is this not what we do it for? Are we not entertained? Holy shit, man!
Yeah, just love that. Great power move from Kevin Gates. It's unreal. Last thing we're going to talk about before we head out is Clippers Nuggets. Obviously, game 1 goes to overtime, maybe double overtime. I can't remember. Great game. Obviously, the Nuggets take game 1. Kawhi Leonard wasn't as crispy as he was in game 2. In game 1, where he had 7 turnovers, you can't have that. He had his stats, and he was playing good defense. He was shooting the ball unreal. Welcome back, Kawhi Leonard. I can't say we've missed you necessarily because you were a Spur for so long and I hated you. And then you went to the Raptors and I was like, that was cool. And then you're like, you know what? I'm going to go LA, but not the real LA team. Going to go to the Clippers. Paul George, best friend. Hello. Didn't work out. But now, this series, oh boy. Because in the bubble, I would say if the Clippers cared to be there in any way, shape, or form, Clippers win that championship, I believe.
Sure.
Because they were
fine.
Unreal that
they
year,
were.
but they did not want to be in the bubble. So that was an issue. Didn't want to be there in the slightest. Eric Bledsoe, I don't want to be here anymore.
Classic tweet, classic.
But unreal tweet. Kawhi Leonard, 39 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists. He was 15 of 19 on his field goals, 4 of 7 from 3. Just an unreal game from Kawhi Leonard. And obviously he's playing both ends of the floor. He's not even like old Kawhi Leonard anymore. He's a different version. He's old Kawhi Leonard now. He's been hurt for years and years and years at this point, and to see him come back and just have these types of games in the playoffs is really cool. He's just been a blast to watch this season. He's been relatively healthy, and I think Pat Bev said it on his podcast. I saw it on TikTok the other day, and he texted Kawhi at the end of the season and was like, dude, hell yeah, congrats. Like, 6th season. And he goes, I'm just so happy to be healthy again, was his response to Pat Bev. And that's endearing to hear, because you're like, this guy, does he like basketball? Is he Anthony Rendon? Is just like, I'm so good at this, I'm going to make so much money, but it doesn't really matter to me. But that doesn't seem to be the case. He's just happy to be healthy, happy to have a shot at the postseason again. And they take game 2, 105-102, another thriller, another Russell Westbrook game. Just 39 points on 15 of 19 shooting in the playoffs is so
who does this, dude? Like that. Obviously, I could sit here and say this is the craziest playoff performance, under 40 points that I've seen. Obviously, at 39, but damn it, I don't know if we haven't seen that Kawhi Leonard in so long. And quick verbal meme. It's like oh, my uncle remembers his homecoming dance routine from 1989. It's like the guy still got it. He can do this forever. Obviously not, but it's a beautiful thing that he still got it. I think that this Clippers team just they said it before game 2 started. They're like, we're going to look back at this series and be like, holy shit, look at all these Hall of Famers. Look at all these players who are in this, whether it be in their primes or out of their primes. Obviously, we have a lot of these guys who are on their outs with Kawhi, James, Westbrook. If I'm missing anybody, let me know. Fuck it. Throw Aaron Gordon in that mix. Not on their tier, but I'm saying, hey, he's 30 now or however old he is, 33.
Ben Simmons.
Ben Simmons, future Hall of Famer. People forget. I'm joking.
One of one.
Is he now?
2 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist, 2 fouls.
Wow,
pretty good.
Oh, I thought you meant 8 minutes. I thought you meant one of one, as in one of one Ben Simmons. I'm like, sure, okay.
I mean, there is only there's 2 Ben Simmons if you count Bill Simmons' son.
There it is. Damn it, this is what we do it for. Thank you, Ben Simmons, for becoming a. Is he a veteran leader now? What do we classify him as? Is he the Jeff Green of the Los Angeles Clippers? No. What's happening? No. I don't understand it. But shout out this series. No.
He'll play more than 8 minutes, maybe.
Hey, we got Jeff Green minutes last night in the Rockets game, dude. That was a fun finishing lineup there. James Harden, just having vintage Harden coming out occasionally. Hopefully that continues this series. Jokic just getting stuck and just missing that game winner. Obviously, incredibly tough shot. I think we're going to get much more out of him these next, let's say, 3 games.
Yeah, that shot reminded me of the national championship with Cooper Flag. And it's like, hey, I don't know. Figure it out.
He's like, I'm kind of stuck. Help me.
Just try to shoot the ball. That's basically what they told Cooper Flag, and that's what it felt like with Jokic.
It's like there's 10 people on that basketball court. Only one guy's getting that ball. So
yeah, I mean, Jamal Murray had 23 points on 9 of 17 shooting. He was 50% from 3, 4 of 8. Didn't have a bad game, but it's just like, if Kawhi's going to give you 39 on 15 of 19 shooting when James Harden doesn't have his best stuff necessarily, he had 18 points on 7 of 17 shooting. Like, wasn't the best James Harden game, but it wasn't a bad James Harden game in any way, shape, or form. But
absolutely not.
If Kawhi's just going to shoot 90% true shooting and have 39 points, it's going to be really hard to beat him.
You more than take those. I one day dream that the Rockets have a forward that can do things like Kawhi Leonard can. I'm looking at you, Cam Whitmore. Anything's possible. I can't. I'm sorry.
No. Yeah, it's not. Not anything is possible.
Non-zero chance. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, sure. Fair. But yeah, Clippers Nuggets has been a blast. I need 7 games of it. I just need them to alternate wins.
Please.
Just get to 7 games to see how it plays out. That would be a fucking blast. The rest of the playoffs, I will mention the team names like Bucks, Pacers. Yeah, we already said that. No, thanks. Celtics, Magic. Nope. No, thanks. It's Magic, like uncoordinated children.
Shout out Paolo.
Paolo's awesome, but the Magic are
Jim
like
Jones.
Uncoordinated children just going at people's ankles and knees and stuff. Like it's chaos for the Celtics. They're just praying to get out of there alive. Kristaps Porzingis got shot live, dead on the scene. Looked like JFK is like the one still of him with his eyes open, of him laying down on the court with just blood pouring out of his forehead. It was like the most. I thought he got shot. It looked like Peaky Blinders, and they just shoot someone in the head, and he's just like dead on the ground. Like that's what I felt like. That was crazy. don't need to mention that series in any way, shape, or form. Cavs Heat, no thanks. Count me out. I'm all out on that series. Watch game 1. Won't watch any more of that. And then Oklahoma City and Memphis.
Nope.
Like, what do we have to play those
Can we
games?
just forfeit?
Can we just say you get a week off? Like, just call it a day, boys. 2-0, but it was really 4-0. Don't need to see any more of that.
Real quick, when Kentavious Caldwell-Pope has a bad game, they start tweeting Photoshop pictures of him in a jail cell and just crazy stuff like that. These things tend to happen. But of course, someone tweeted, if you were the Pope in your name, or excuse me, if you had a Pope name, what would your Pope name be? And the quote tweet said Kentavious Caldwell. So RIP Pope Francis. That was his name, right? Pope Francis. I'm a fan of Catholicism. I'm not a active participant, but Kentavious Caldwell could be the next Pope, God willing.
Rockets and Stars undefeated since the Pope passed away.
Wow, something to consider, folks. Maybe we just don't elect don't elect a new Pope. Or do they elect? How does that work?
Yeah, they got to have like 2/3, or maybe I think it's 2/3 of the Cardinals up there in the Vatican City. They gotta vote on the new Pope, and they haven't done that yet. They haven't come to a 2/3 vote.
Sure.
They got to make no Pope. Hope we can just like push the new Pope down the road till the end of June. Can we call that like June 30th? Like you elect a new Pope. If the Rockets and Stars keep winning, like I just don't need a new Pope yet. That has to be the X factor.
Absolutely. At first it was the Rockets hat. Second, it's the I was going to say the Rockets Pope. Shout out to you, Pope.
Yeah, the Stars have won 2 games since the Pope passed away. So that is the caveat there. It's like we've won 2. So feeling pretty good. Both in overtime, by the way.
Yep.
Almost died twice. Me on my couch and in the press box twice. I avoided death. So
incredible. We're glad you're here, Stone, and I'm glad I get to talk ball with you, brother.
Please, no more overtime games for me. I can't. My heart rate was like 145 sitting on the couch. God. Adrenaline was going. I do have an interesting heart rate. I always have.
Okay, sure. Thank you, Michael Phelps, former swimmer.
It's all the swimming over the years. Like I can get really high and I can get really low. So it's like I don't know. That one was much worse. Game 2, when they went to overtime, it got up to 110 sitting in the press box. Just sitting there clenching.
God. Well, to be fair, that when you're in person like that, 110 makes more sense than 145 on the couch. But
sitting on my couch with a blanket.
Hey, you could have been drinking some Diet Cokes. You could have been eating some snacks. I don't know. So it could be some.
I was definitely drinking
external
the Diet
factors.
Coke. There was a lot of
external factors.
I didn't stretch that day. Had a lot of things working against me and my heart rate.
That's right, brother. So. Well, hey, go enjoy this draft. Shout out Shedeur Sanders for going number 1. What? Isn't that crazy? Shedeur. I'm going Shedeur mode on these hosts. Game 3.
Welcome to Miami, Shore.
Sure. Welcome to Pittsburgh, Shedeur. The streets are saying he's going to Pittsburgh.
That's more than likely. Yeah. I would assume that's what's going to happen. But yeah, NFL drafts tonight. We're going to get out of here before it starts. But NBA playoffs we've had a few series where we were like, yes, this is NBA playoff basketball. And it's round 1, and I get that. But yeah, we're going to get out of here. They're trying to join the stream right now and get that started for Apollo HOU on YouTube. Hit up that live stream real quick, and then shout out to our sponsors, J-Bar M. J-Bar M Barbecue is just a couple blocks away from Toyota Center. Best barbecue in town. Best drinks in town. J-Bar M Barbecue. Head there. They got free parking. It's pretty easy to get there. So Zing Zang, America's #1 Bloody Mary Mix. I love Bloody Mary Mix from Zing Zang. I get it at Target. You can go get it at the liquor store or wherever, because it's pretty much anywhere. America's #1 Bloody Mary Mix. Zang responsibly with Zing Zang. And shout out to Big City Wings. Houston Swing Joint. Paul's Wing Joint. Go check them out today if you're in the Houston area. They got 14 locations. So chances are, if you're in Houston, you're near a Big City Wings. This has been Zero Gravity, Apollo Media's NBA podcast.